Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hunchback of Notre Dame read. We have a big cast for you today. I will be Clopin, the storyteller, and doing scene description. And Logan will also take over the scene description at some point as well. We have Paul as Quasimodo. Curtis will be Hugo, the gargoyle, and others. And Erik will also be taking some of Hugo's lines. Travis is Victor, the gargoyle, and as well as others. And Jennifer is going to be reading as Laverne and others. I'll be taking over some of the Laverne parts as well. Kevin will be reading as Phoebus and a little bit of Esmeralda and Archdeacon as well. Jessica will be reading mainly as Esmeralda, and Anne will be taking over the Archdeacon role. Erik will be playing Frollo, and Cate is taking on various roles as well. So here we go, Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. As the Walt Disney Pictures logo fades off the screen, the chorus heard in the background mixes with the bells of Notre Dame Cathedral ringing. A long zoom in through the city until we reach the Clopin, singing to a group of children watching his puppet show. Morning in Paris, the city awakes to the bells of Notre Dame. The fisherman fishes, the bakerman bakes to the bells of Notre Dame. To the big bells as loud as the thunder, to the little bells soft as a psalm. And some say the soul of the city's the toll of the bells of Notre Dame. Listen, the bells, they are beautiful, no? So many colors of sound, so many changing moods, because you know they do not ring by themselves. They don't? No, silly boy. Up there, high in the dark bell tower, lives the mysterious bell ringer. Who is this creature? Who? What is he? What? How did he come to be there? How? Hush! And Clopin will tell you. It is the tale of a man and a monster, a wipe to a dark night, a band of gypsies quietly proceeding down to the Seine, hoping to avoid detection. A baby in the woman's arms begins to cry. Dark was the night when our tale was begun on the docks near Notre Dame.
Shut it up, will you?
We'll be spotted.
Hush, little one.
4 frightened gypsies slid silently under the docks near Notre Dame.
Or gliders for safe passage into Paris.
But a trap had been laid for the gypsies, and they gazed up in fear and alarm at a figure whose clutches were iron as much as the bells.
Judge Claude Frollo.
The bells of Notre Dame. Judge Claude Frollo longed to purge the world of vice and sin, and he saw corruption everywhere, except within.
Bring these gypsy vermin to the palace of justice.
You there, where are you hiding?
Stolen goods, no doubt. Take them from her.
She ran. As the gypsy mother tries to escape with her baby, Judge Frollo gives chase on horseback. She reaches the doors of Notre Dame and pounds on them.
Sanctuary! Please give us sanctuary!
Frollo finally catches up to her on the steps of the cathedral. He rips the still-covered bundle from her arms and kicks her, sending her crashing to the cement steps where she is knocked unconscious. The baby begins to cry.
Baby?
Frollo uncovers the baby's head, seeing the deformed infant.
A monster!
He looks around, searching for a way to dispose of the creature. He sees a well and rides over to it. He's about to drop the baby down the well when a voice shouts out.
Stop!
Cried the Archdeacon.
This is an unholy demon. I'm sending it back to hell where it belongs.
See there the innocent blood you have spilt on the steps of Notre Dame.
I am guiltless. She ran. I pursued.
And now you would add this child's blood to your guilt on the steps of Notre Dame.
My conscience is clear.
Jerry. Oh no.
Oh,
My conscience is clear.
you can lie to yourself and your minions. You can claim that you haven't a qualm, but you never can run from nor hide what you've done from the very eyes of Notre Dame.
And for one time in his life of power and control, Frollo felt a twinge of fear for his immortal soul.
What must I do?
Care for the child. Raise it as your own.
What? I'll be saddled with this misshapen.
He pauses as a thought creeps across his face.
Very well. Let him live with you in your church.
Live here? But where?
Anywhere. Just so he's kept locked away where no one else can see. The bell tower, perhaps. And who knows, our Lord works in mysterious ways. Even this foul creature may yet prove one day to be of use to me.
And Frollo gave the child a cruel name, a name that means half-formed, Quasimodo. Now here is a riddle to guess if you can. Sing the bells of Notre Dame. Who is the monster and who is the man? Sing the bells, 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 bells of Notre Dame. We have wiped from watching Clopin's puppet show to the actual bells ringing in the tower and the back of this mysterious Quasimodo ringing them. As we end on a beautiful shot of the bells ringing and the word Dame is sung with the symbol crash, the title The Hunchback of Notre Dame appears on screen. We fly down to the exterior with the frozen forms of Victor and Hugo, with a bird's nest in his mouth on the balcony. As Quasimodo comes out, the bird awakens.
Good morning.
The bird squeaks its approval.
Will today be the day? Are you ready to fly?
The bird squeaks its disapproval.
Sure? Good day to try. Why, if I picked a day to fly, oh, this would be it. The Festival of Fools. It'll be fun. The jugglers and music and dancing.
The bird, who has been resting in Quasi's hand, has begun to flap its wings. Quasi slowly removes his hands until the bird is hovering in place. He chuckles and shows his hand to the bird, who finally realizes that it is flying. It squeaks in approval, then a question as a flock of birds flies by.
Go on. Nobody wants to be cooped up here forever.
The bird flies off to join the flock. As soon as it's gone, Hugo and later Victor come to life. Hugo spits out the nest.
Oh, man! I thought he'd never leave. I've been spitting feathers for a week.
Well, that's what you get for sleeping with your mouth open.
Go scare a nun. Hey, Quasi, what's going on here? A fight? A flogging?
A festival.
You mean a festival of fools?
Uh-huh.
All right. Pour the wine and cut the cheese.
Hugo makes some farting noises in his armpit.
It's a treat to watch the colorful pageantry of the simple peasant folk.
Boy, nothing like balcony seats for watching the old FOF.
Yeah, watching.
Quasi turns and leaves, obviously sad.
Hey, look, a mine.
Hugo hawks up a phlegm in his throat and is about to spit when Victor covers his mouth. Hugo is forced to swallow his prize. They proceed inside to Quasimodo. Laverne catches up to them.
Hey, what gives?
Aren't you going to watch the festival with us?
I don't get it.
Perhaps he's sick.
Impossible. If 20 years of listening to you two hasn't made him sick by now, nothing will.
By watching the Festival of Fools has always been the highlight of the year for Quasimodo.
What good is watching the party if you never get to go out and hear it? Get away from me. Go on, you bunch of buzzards. He's not made of stone like us. Laverne goes to Quasi, who is at his table with a model of the city and small toys painted like townspeople. Quasi, what's wrong? You want to tell Laverne all about it?
I just don't feel like watching the festival, that's all.
Well, did you ever think about going there instead?
Sure.
I'd never fit in down there. I'm not normal.
Oh, Quasi. Do you mind? I would like to have a moment with the boy, if that's all right with you.
Hey, quit beating around the bell tower. What do we gotta do? Paint a fresco?
As your friends and guardians, we insist you attend the festival.
Me?
Enter Hugo with a figurine of the Pope from Quasi's tabletop scene.
No, the Pope. Of course you.
Victor shoves the Pope figurine in Quasi's mouth.
It would be a veritable potpourri of educational experience.
Hugo pulls the figurine out of Quasi's mouth.
Fine women and song.
You can learn to identify various regional cheeses
Rabbit for snails.
and the indigenous folk music.
Dunk the monk.
Quasi, take it from an old spectator. Life's not a spectator sport. If watching's all you're going to do, then you're going to watch your life go by without you.
Yeah, you're human with the flesh and the hair and the navel lint. We're just part of the architecture, right, Victor?
Yet, if you chip us, will we not flake? If you moisten us, do we not grow moist?
Quasi, just grab a fresh tunic and a clean pair of hose and...
Thanks for the encouragement, but you're all forgetting one thing.
What?
My master, Frollo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when he says you're forbidden from ever leaving the bell tower, does he mean ever?
Never, ever. And he hates the Feast of Fools. He'd be furious if I asked to go.
Yeah, who says you gotta ask?
Oh, no.
You sneak out,
It's just one afternoon.
I couldn't.
and you sneak back in.
You'll never know you were gone.
I mean, if I got caught,
Better to beg forgiveness than to ask permission.
he might see me.
You wear a disguise, just this once. What Frollo doesn't know won't hurt you.
Ignorance is bliss.
Look who's talking.
Nobody wants to stay cooped up here forever. Quasi thinks for a moment. Then a smile creeps across his face.
You're right. I'll go. I'll get cleaned up and I'll stroll down those stairs. I'll march through the doors.
Quasi and the gargoyles have been advancing on the door, leading downstairs. As Quasi nears it, Frollo appears in the doorway suddenly after cutting Quasi short and returning the goyles to stone.
Good morning, Quasimodo.
Good morning, Master.
Dear boy, whomever are you talking to?
My friends.
I see. And what are your friends made of, Quasimodo?
Stone.
Can stone talk?
No, it can't.
That's right. You're a smart lad. Now, lunch.
Upon hearing the word, Quasi goes off and retrieves a table setting, a silver chalice and a plate for Frollo, and a wooden cup and plate for himself.
Shall we review your alphabet today?
Yes, Master. I would like that very much.
Very well. A,
Abomination.
B,
Blasphemy.
C,
Contrition.
D,
Damnation.
E.
Eternal damnation.
Good. F,
Festival.
Frollo spits out his drink at the incorrect response.
excuse me?
Forgiveness.
You said festival.
No.
You're thinking about going to the festival.
It's just that you go every year.
I am a public official. I must go. But I don't enjoy a moment. Thieves and hustlers and dregs of humankind all mixed together in a shallow, drunken stupor.
I didn't mean to upset you, Master.
Quasimodo, can't you understand? When your heartless mother abandoned you as a child, anyone else would have drowned you. And this is my thanks for taking you in, raising you as my son.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, my dear Quasimodo, you don't know what's like out there. I do. The world is cruel, the world is wicked. It's I alone whom you can trust in this whole city. I am your only friend. I who keep you, teach you, feed you, dress you. I who look upon you without fear. How can I protect you, boy, unless you always stay in here, away in here? Remember what I taught you, Quasimodo. You are deformed.
Deformed.
And you are ugly.
And I'm ugly.
And these are crimes for which the world shows little pity. You do not comprehend.
You are my defender.
Out there they'll revile you as a monster. Out there they will hate with scorn and jeer.
Only a monster.
Why invite the calumny and consternation? Stay in here. Be faithful to me.
Faithful.
Grateful to me.
I'm grateful.
Do as I say. Obey. And stay in here.
Frollo goes to leave.
You are good to me, master. I'm sorry.
You are forgiven. But remember, Quasimodo, this is your sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Exit Frollo.
Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I watch them as I hide up here alone, hungry for the histories they show me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they will never know. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass a day not above them, not a part of them. Out there, living in the sun. Give me one day out there. All I ask is one to hold forever. Out there, where they all live unaware what I dare, just to live one day out there, out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives. Through the roofs and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be had. If I was in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there, strolling by the sand. Taste of morning out there, like ordinary men who freely walk about there. Just one day and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Won't resent, won't despair, I'll end the bet, I won't care. I'll have spent one day out there.
Dissolve down to street level where, in the midst of all the activity, walks Phoebus and his horse Achilles. Phoebus is consulting a map.
You leave a town for a couple of decades and they change everything.
He looks and sees a pair of guards walking by.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm looking for the Palace of Justice. Would you? I guess not.
Meanwhile, in a corner, Esmeralda and Jolly are dancing for change. A woman and her child walk by, but the woman steers her child away. Stay away, child, they're gypsies. They'll steal us blind. Phoebus, entranced by Esmeralda's dancing, drops a few coins into the hat on the ground. Soon, a boy on top of the wall whistles. Everything comes to a halt and all scramble for cover. As Jolly grabs the hat, coins fly everywhere. He runs and Esmeralda runs out to grab the money. As she's gathering the change, the guards arrive.
All right, Gypsy, when did you get the money?
Uh-oh.
All right, Gypsy, where'd you get the money?
For your information, I earned it.
Gypsies don't earn money. You steal it?
You know a lot about stealing.
Troublemaker. Maybe a day in the stocks will cool you down.
She fights them and eventually escapes. As the guards begin to chase, Phoebus blocks them with Achilles, and they fall to the ground. Guard 1 is in the right spot, and
Achilles, sit.
Achilles does as he's told and sits on top of Guard 1.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry. Naughty horse. Naughty. He's just impossible. Really. I can't take him anywhere.
Get this thing off me. I'll teach you a lesson, peasant.
He whips out a small dagger, to which Phoebus pulls out his shining sword.
You're saying, Lieutenant?
Guard 2 realizes who it is.
Oh, Captain, at your service, sir.
Phoebus sheathes his sword and bends down to Guard 1.
I know you have a lot on your mind right now, but the Palace of Justice?
Cut to the guards making a path for Captain Phoebus. As he walks, he sees some coins on the ground. He picks them up and drops them in the hat of an old man sitting on the street. After he passes the old man, pulls his hood down to reveal Jolly sitting on Esmeralda's head. She looks at him curiously. Phoebus is trying to move through the crowd, but Achilles is refusing to come along.
Come on, boy. Achilles, heel.
We zoom into the Palace of Justice and end up in the dungeon, where a guard in the next room is whipping a prisoner, as Frollo listens. Phoebus enters.
God!
Sir?
Ease up. Wait between lashes. Otherwise, the other sting will dull him to the new.
Yes, sir.
Frollo turns to Phoebus.
Ah, so this is the gallant Captain Phoebus, home from the wars.
Reporting for duty, as ordered, sir.
Your service record precedes you, Phoebus. I expect nothing but the best from a war hero of your caliber.
And you shall have it, sir. I guarantee it.
Yes. You know, my last captain of the guard was a bit of a disappointment to me.
A whip crack and a scream interrupt Frollo. Phoebus appears startled at the crack.
But no matter. I'm sure you'll whip my men into shape.
Thank you, sir. Very tremendous honor, sir.
You came to Paris in our darkest hour, Captain. It will take a firm hand to save the weak-minded from being so easily misled.
Misled, sir?
Look, Captain, gypsies. The gypsies live outside the normal order. Their heathen ways inflame the people's lowest instincts, and they must be stopped.
I was summoned from the wars to capture fortune tellers and palm readers.
Oh, the real war, Captain, is what you see before you. For 20 years, I have been taking care of the gypsies, one by one.
On each of his last 3 words, Frollo crushes one of 3 ants on a tile. He flips the tile over, revealing scores of ants scurrying around underneath.
And yet, for all my success, they have thrived. I believe they have a safe haven within the walls of this very city. A nest, if you will. They call it the Court of Miracles.
What are we going to do about it, sir?
Frollo slams the tile back down, upside down, and turns it, crushing the remainder of the ants.
You make your point quite vividly, Captain.
You know, I like you, Captain. Shall we?
He begins to leave when the crowd below begins to cheer loudly.
Duty calls. Have you ever attended a peasant festival, Captain?
Not recently, sir.
Then this should be quite an education for you. Come along.
We descend to ground level and see Quasimodo climbing down the side of the cathedral. He wanders into the crowd as an upcoming group of people begin to sing.
Come one, come all, leave your looms and milking tools, coop the hens and pens and mules. Come one, come all, close the churches and the schools. It's the day for breaking rules. Come and join the feast of
Fools! Once a year we throw a party here in town. Once a year we turn all of Paris upside down. Every man's a king and every king's a clown. Once again it's topsy-turvy day. It's a day the devil in us gets released. It's a day we mock the prig and shock the priest. Everything is topsy-turvy at the Feast of Fools. Quasimodo is working his way through the crowd, but he can't escape Clopin, who seems to be singing to Quasimodo.
topsy-turvy,
Everything is upsy-daisy.
topsy-turvy.
Everyone is acting crazy. Dross is gold and weeds are a bouquet. That's the way on topsy-turvy day.
Quasimodo, having joined the chorus line of dancers, is shoved away through a curtain and comes crashing into the dressing tent of Esmeralda.
Hey, are you all right?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're not hurt, are you? Here, let's see.
No.
Esmeralda tries to pull the hood away from Quasi's face, and he is unsuccessful at stopping her. Jolly, upon seeing Quasi's face, sneers. Esmeralda, however, doesn't flinch.
There, see? No harm done. Just try to be a little more careful.
I will.
He turns to leave.
By the way, great mask.
As Quasi exits, we return to the celebration outside.
Topsy-turvy!
Beat the drums and blow the trumpets.
Topsy-turvy!
Join the bums and thieves and
Join the
strumpets
bums and
screaming
thieves
from Chartres to
from Chartres
Calais.
to Calais.
Scurvy knaves are extra scurvy on the 6th of January.
Oh, because it's topsy-turvy day!
As Judge Claude Frollo, Phoebus, and the guards enter the scene, Clopin jumps on stage to present Esmeralda.
Come one, come all, hurry, hurry, here's your chance. See the mystery and romance. Come one, come all, see the finest girl in France. Make an entrance to entrance. Dance la Esmeralda. Dance!
On the last word, Clopin disappears in a puff of smoke and Esmeralda appears in his place. She proceeds to dance a sultry dance.
Look at that disgusting display.
Yes, sir.
She continues to dance. She pulls out a handkerchief and wraps it around Frollo's head playfully, using it to pull him closer. She moves in to kiss him, but jumps away at the last moment. Frollo yanks the handkerchief off of his head.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the pièce de résistance. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. Here it is, you know exactly what's in store. Now's the time we laugh until our sides get sore. Now's the time we crown the king of fools. You all remember last year's king?
Last year's king, carried on the shoulders of the crowd, belches loudly.
So make a face that's horrible and frightening. Make a face as gruesome as a gargoyle's wing.
Hugo is watching far from above.
For the face that's ugliest will be the king of fools. Why?
Topsy-turvy!
Ugly folks, forget your shyness.
Topsy-turvy!
You can soon be called your highness.
Put your foulest features on display. Be the king of topsy-turvy day.
Clopin has been pulling contestants onto the stage. Esmeralda pulls Quasimodo to the stage. Esmeralda works her way down the line, ripping off the masks and revealing the ugly faces underneath. The festivities continue until Esmeralda reaches Quasi. She tries to pull Quasi's mask off, but soon realizes that it's not a mask.
That's no mask.
It's his face.
He's hideous.
It's the bell ringer of Notre Dame.
Quasi, realizing that people are disgusted by him, is devastated. Frollo realizes the only man left standing on stage is Quasimodo. Clopin, trying to keep things festive, jumps in.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not panic. We asked for the ugliest face in Paris, and here he is, Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Upon hearing Clopin, the crowd once again grows festive, and Clopin crowns Quasimodo the King of Fools.
Once a year we
throw a party here in
to the
town.
king.
Once a year we turn all powers upside down.
Oh, what a king.
Once a year the ugliest will wear a crown.
Girls, give a kiss.
Once a year on topsy-turvy
We
day.
never had a king like this, and it's the
It's the day we do the things that we deplore.
On the other 364.
Once a year
we
we
love to dropping, where the beer is never
stopping.
stopping.
For the jazz, the pops and poppin' Jay. And
Pick a king who put the top in topsy-turvy. Mad and crazy, upsy-daisy, topsy-turvy day.
From above, the gargoyles whoop and cheer, while down on the ground, the crowd chants, Quasimodo! On the side, guards 1 and 2 are watching.
You think he's ugly now? Watch this.
He throws a tomato at Quasi, hitting him square in the face. The crowd quickly goes quiet.
Now that's ugly.
Hail to the king.
He throws another tomato. Soon, Quasi is being pelted with produce of all kinds. Shouts come from all directions. Quasi is soon lassoed and tied down to a rotating platform. He is spun around as onlookers continue their torment. We see Frollo watching and shouts for help.
Master, please help me.
Phoebus has seen enough.
Sir, request permission to stop this cruelty.
Just a moment, Captain. A lesson needs to be learned here.
As soon as he has said this, the crowd gasps and goes silent. Phoebus and Frollo look up to the stage and see Esmeralda ascending the steps. She kneels next to Quasimodo.
Don't be afraid. I'm sorry. This wasn't supposed to happen.
You, gypsy girl, get down at once.
Yes, Your Honor. Just as soon as I free this poor creature.
I forbid it.
She whips out a knife and cuts the ropes holding Quasi.
How dare you defy me?
You mistreat this poor boy the same way you mistreat my people. You speak of justice, yet you are cruel to those most in need of your help.
Silence!
Justice!
Mark my words, gypsy. You will pay for your insolence.
Then it appears we've crowned the wrong fool. The only fool I see is you.
Captain Phoebus, arrest her.
Phoebus motions for his guards to move in and arrest Esmeralda. They surround the stage.
Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you and 1 of me. What's a poor girl to do?
He begins to cry and then disappears into an explosion of smoke.
Witchcraft!
From another location,
Oh boy, it's over here.
she leads the guards on a wild chase. At one point, she knocks over a large cage containing an old prisoner to the ground. It goes rolling away until it comes to a stop and the lock breaks open. He climbs out.
I'm free! I'm free!
He trips and falls into the stockade, which closes and locks.
Oh, dang it!
Meanwhile, Esmeralda continues to evade the guards. At one point, she and Jolly jump to the top of the crowd, which carry them away to safety. 2 guards attempt the same move, and the crowd quickly moves away. She grabs a helmet from one of the guards and throws it like a frisbee. It hits 3 guards and knocks them out, before almost chopping Phoebus's head off.
What a woman!
2 guards on horseback are chasing Esmeralda. As she leaps over Frollo's stand, someone throws the guard a staff. Each holding onto an end, the horizontal staff slices through Frollo's stand, sending him diving for cover. Esmeralda ascends to the top of the stand, then promptly disappears.
Find her, Captain. I want her alive.
Yes, sir. Seal off the area, men. Find the gypsy girl, and do not harm her.
Frollo has ridden over to Quasimodo. He hangs his head low.
Sorry, Master. I will never disobey you again.
He moves to the entrance to the cathedral as the rain begins to fall. He goes in and then slowly closes the door to his freedom. This is all forward in time to Phoebus as the guards search for Esmeralda. She is disguised again with Jolly as the old man. She sneaks into the church. Phoebus sees her and recognizes who it is. He follows her in alone. As he comes up behind her, she turns and grabs his sword.
You.
She forces him to the ground, holding him there with the tip of the sword at his chin.
Easy. I just shaved this morning.
Oh, really? You missed the spot.
All right. Just calm down. Just give me a chance to apologize.
For what?
As she lets her guard down for a split second, Phoebus grabs the sword from her hands and turns it on her.
That, for example.
You sneaky son of a...
Watch it. You're in her church.
She has picked up a staff with candles on top.
Are you always this charming, or am I just lucky?
She swings the staff at Phoebus, who blocks it with his sword. They fight.
Candlelight, privacy, music. Can't think of a better place for hand-to-hand combat. You fight almost as well as a man.
Funny. I was going to say the same thing about you.
That's hitting a little below the belt, don't you think?
No, this is.
She swings one end of the staff at Phoebus's crotch. He blocks it with the sword. She quickly hits him in the face with the other end of the staff. He shakes it off.
Touche.
Jolly butts him in the chest.
I didn't know you had a kid.
Well, he doesn't take kindly to soldiers.
The fighting has subsided.
I noticed. Permit me. I'm Phoebus. It means sun god. And you are?
Is this an interrogation?
It's called an introduction.
You're not arresting me?
Not as long as you're in here. I can't.
You're not at all like the other soldiers.
Thank you.
So if you're not going to arrest me, what do you want?
I'd settle for your name.
Esmeralda.
It's beautiful. Much better than Phoebus, at least.
As they gaze into each other's eyes, neither notices Frollo and his guards approaching.
What, Captain? Arrest her.
Phoebus still has his back to Frollo.
Claim sanctuary.
She looks at him oddly.
Say it.
You tricked me.
Waiting, Captain.
I'm sorry, sir. She claims sanctuary. There's nothing I can do.
Then drag her outside.
The Archdeacon has entered.
Frollo! You will not touch her. Don't worry, Minister Frollo learned years ago to respect the sanctity of the church.
Frollo and the guards turn to leave. Frollo ducks around a pillar and doubles back. As the remainder of the people have passed, Frollo jumps out, grabs Esmeralda's arm, and twists it behind her. He whispers into her ear.
You think you've outwitted me, but I'm a patient man, and gypsies don't do well inside stone walls.
He pauses, then breathes deeply, smelling Esmeralda's hair.
What are you doing?
I was just imagining a rope around that beautiful neck.
Frollo caresses her neck, but she pulls away.
I know what you're imagining.
Such a clever witch, so typical of your kind, to twist the truth of the cloud, the mind with unholy thoughts. No matter, you've chosen a magnificent prison, but it is a prison nonetheless. Set one foot outside, and you're mine.
He exits, pulling the door shut behind him. She rushes over to another door, only to find guards outside.
Frollo's orders, post a guard at every door.
She slams it shut. Jolly comes back to her.
One thing, Jolly. If Frollo thinks he can keep us here, he's wrong.
Don't act rashly, child. You create quite a stir at the festival. It would be unnice to arouse Frollo's anger further.
You saw what he did out there, letting the crowd torture that poor boy. I thought if just one person could stand up to him, then... What do they have against people who are different anyway?
You can't right all the wrongs in this world by yourself.
No one out there's going to help, that's for sure.
Perhaps there's someone who can.
He gracefully motions towards the inside of the church, then exits. Esmeralda moves into the church.
I don't know if you can hear me. or if you're even there. I don't know if you would listen to a gypsy's prayer. Yes, I know I'm just an outcast. I shouldn't speak to you. Still, I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcast, hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. God help my people, we look to you still. God help the outcast, or nobody will.
She walked to the church slowly, as the shadows of those walking past her flowed over her.
I ask for wealth. I ask for fame. I ask for glory to shine on my name. I ask for love I can possess. I ask for God and his angels to bless me.
Esmeralda is slowly moving to the light streaming through the giant stained glass window. Meanwhile, upstairs, Quasi has heard Esmeralda's voice and has come downstairs to watch her.
I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. Please help my people, the poor and downtrodden. I thought we all were the children of God. God help the outcasts, children of God.
She finishes her song in the center of light from the window. Meanwhile, a parishioner has spotted Quasi.
You, what are you doing down here?
Startled, Quasi jumps and knocks over a candlestaff.
Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
Quasi runs off the staircase, Esmeralda giving chase.
Wait, I want to talk to you.
Quasi comes to the top of the staircase, followed by Esmeralda and Jolly. The gargoyles watch from above.
Oh, look, he's got a friend with him.
Yeah, maybe today wasn't a total loss after all.
A vision of loveliness.
The one in dress ain't bad either.
Quasi reaches his room, where the goyles greet him.
Quasi!
Congratulations.
Got the girls chasing you already.
Actually,
You mustn't run too fast or she'll get away.
Yes, I know. That's what...
Give her some slack, then reel her in. Then give her some slack, then reel her in. Then give her some slack, then...
Knock it off, Hugo. She's a girl, not a mackerel.
Esmeralda finally enters, and the goyles go stone.
Here you are. I was afraid I'd lost you.
Yes. Well, I have chores to do. It was nice seeing you again. Oh.
No, wait.
Jolly is examining Hugo. He briefly comes to life, making kissing faces at Jolly, then goes back to stone. Jolly is confused.
I'm really sorry about this afternoon. I had no idea who you were. I would never in my life have pulled you up on the stage.
She slows down as she reaches Quasimodo's room with its dangling glass mobile and the model of the city. She's in awe.
What is this place?
This is where I live.
Did you make all these things yourself?
Most of them.
She fingers the mobile.
This is beautiful. If I could do this, you would not find me dancing in the streets for coins.
But you're a wonderful dancer.
Well, it keeps bread on the table anyway. What's this?
Oh no, please no. I'm not finished. I still have to paint them.
The blacksmith and the baker. You're a surprising person, Quasimodo. Not to mention lucky. All this room to yourself.
Well, it's not just me. There's the gargoyles, and of course the bells. Would you like to see them?
Yes, of course. Wouldn't we, Jolly?
Jolly, who's been munching on an unpainted figure, slurps it into his mouth.
Follow me. I'll introduce you.
Up in the bell tower,
Never knew there were so many.
That's little Sophia and Jean-Marie, Anne-Marie, and Louise-Marie. Triplets, you know.
And who is this?
Big Marie.
from under Big Marie, Esmeralda shouts, "Hello," which echoes and resonates richly.
Hello!
She likes you. Would you like to see more?
How about it, Jolly?
Jolly, under Big Marie, belches loudly, which in turn echoes and resonates richly.
We'd love to.
Good. I've saved the best for last.
Quasi and Esmeralda proceed outside with a beautiful view of Paris and the Seine.
I bet the king himself doesn't have a view like this. I could stay up here forever.
You could, you know.
No, I couldn't.
Oh, yes. You have sanctuary.
But not freedom. Gypsies don't do well inside stone walls.
But you're not like other gypsies. They're evil.
Who told you that?
My master, Frollo. He raised me.
How could such a cruel man have raised someone like you?
Cruel? Oh no, he saved my life. He took me in when no one else would. I am a monster, you know.
He told you that?
Look at me.
Give me your hand.
She takes his hand and looks at his palm.
Why?
Just let me see. Long lifeline? Oh, and this one means you're shy. Well, that's funny. I don't see any.
Any what?
Monster lines. Not a single one. Now look at me. Do you think I'm evil?
No. No, no. You are kind and good.
And a gypsy. And maybe Frollo's wrong about the both of us.
Below, the Goyles are straining to listen in.
What'd you say?
Frollo's nose is long, and he wears a truss.
Ha! Told ya. Pay up.
Victor hands him a gold coin. Back to the rooftop.
You helped me. Now I will help you.
There's no way out. There's soldiers at every door.
We won't use the door.
You mean climb down?
Sure. You carry him. I carry you.
Okay. Come on, Jolly.
Jolly hops into her arms.
Ready?
Yes.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid.
Quasi leaps over the edge and holds onto a gargoyle's head.
Now I'm afraid.
The trick is not to look down.
Quasi begins swinging down the exterior of the cathedral.
You've done this before?
No.
Quasi finally stopped on a slanted roof.
Wow. You're quite an acrobat.
Thank you.
His words are cut short as the tile they're on breaks and they begin to slide down the roof as if they're on a sled. They're able to jump off of the sled before it goes sailing off into the air. It lands a few blocks away. The guards on the ground hear the crash and go off to investigate.
Check the alley.
As the guards pass, Quasi, Esmeralda, and Jolly hide as part of the statue. When the coast is clear, they speak again.
It's for you.
Not for an instant.
Jolly groans as his heart is only just now beginning to
Don't
beat
forget.
again.
I'll never forget you, Esmeralda.
Come with me.
What?
To the Court of Miracles. Leave this place.
Oh no, I'm never going back out there again. You saw what happened to me today? No. This is where I belong.
All right. Then I'll come to see you.
What? Here? But the soldiers and Frollo And
I'll come after sunset.
at sunset, I ring the evening mass. And after that, I clean the cloisters. And then I ring the vespers. And
Esmeralda gives Quasimodo a little peck on the cheek.
whatever is good for you.
Esmeralda pulls a talisman off of her neck and hands it to Quasi.
If you ever need sanctuary, this will show you the way.
But how?
Just remember, when you wear this woven band, you hold the city in your hand.
Jolly bleats as the guards are returning.
Hurry. You must go.
Thanks the dream.
Esmeralda swings down on a rope to the ground and runs off into the dark. Quasimodo climbs back up to his tower. As soon as he reaches the ledge, Phoebus appears.
Hi there. I'm looking for the gypsy girl. Have you seen her?
Quasimodo gets very angry at the sight of a guard. He takes a swing.
Whoa, easy.
No soldiers. Sanctuary. Get out.
Wait, all I want was to...
Go.
I mean her no harm.
Go.
Quasi grabs a torch and begins swinging it at Phoebus. Phoebus backs off, but Quasi continues to swing. Backs down the stairs. Phoebus finally draws his sword and swings, pinning the torch against the wall. Quasimodo has grabbed Phoebus by the chest.
You tell her for me. I didn't mean to trap her here, but it was the only way to save her life. Will you tell her that?
If you go now.
I'll go. Now, will you put me down, please?
We cut to a longer shot to reveal that Quasimodo has been holding Phoebus several feet off the floor. Quasi sets Phoebus down. Phoebus starts to leave, then turns to say something.
Oh, and one more thing. Tell Esmeralda she's very lucky
Why?
to have a friend like you.
Exit Phoebus. Quasi returns to his room in the gargoyles.
Hey, there he is.
You ejected that tin-plated baboon with great panache. Yes.
The knob of him snooping around trying to steal your girl.
My girl.
Esmeralda, dark hair, works with a goat, remember?
Boy, I do. Way to go, lover boy.
Lover boy? Oh, no.
Ah, don't be so modest.
Look, I appreciate what you're all trying to do, but let's not fool ourselves. Ugliest face in all Paris, remember? Don't think I'm our type.
Gargoyles slowly melt into the background as Quasimodo begins to sing.
So many times out there, I've watched a happy pair of lovers walking in the night. They had a kind of glow. It almost looked like heaven. I knew I'd never know that warm and loving glow. Though I might wish with all my heart. No face as hideous as my face was ever meant for heaven. But suddenly an angel has smiled at me. It gives my cheek without a trace of frown. I dare to dream that she might care for me as I ring these bells to love. My cold dark power seems so long. I swear it must be heaven's love.
Quasimodo rings the bells. We see a group of monks on the ground level of the cathedral. We fly over Paris towards the Palace of Justice. As we do, we see isolated lights going out occasionally. We eventually end up in the firelit bedchamber of Frollo.
Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than that common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her, I see her, their sun-caught in raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin. It's not my fault. It's not to blame. But Gypsy Girl, the witch who cast this flame. My fault, if in God's plan, made the devil show much stronger than a man. Me, Maria, don't let the siren cast a spell. Don't let her spy on my sear, my flesh and bone. Destroy Esmeralda. Let her taste the fires of hell. And let her be mine and mine alone.
Minister Frollo, the gypsy has escaped.
What?
She's nowhere in the cathedral. She's gone.
But how? And get out, idiot. I'll find her. I'll find her if I have to burn down all of Paris. Hellfire, dark fire. Now, Gypsy, it's your turn. Choose me or your pyre. Be mine or you will burn.
Dissolve to the morning. Frollo is exiting his carriage.
On her. May God have mercy on me. But she will be mine, or she will burn.
Now we dissolve to the morning. Frollo is exiting his carriage. Waiting for him is Phoebus.
Attention! Morning, sir.
Frollo moans.
Are you feeling all right?
Little trouble with the fireplace.
I see. Your order, sir.
Find the gypsy girl.
Fast music. Cut to troops ransacking a home, eventually finding a group of gypsies hidden in a trap door. Gypsies are lined up outside with Frollo looking down at them.
10 pieces of silver to for the gypsy Esmeralda.
He shoves a handful of coins out, but there are no takers.
Lock them up.
We now watch Frollo's men push a carriage down into the Seine. As it begins to sink, gypsies come floating to the surface. Once again, they're lined up with Frollo surveying them.
20 pieces of silver for the gypsy Esmeralda.
Again, no takers.
Take them away.
Cut to a house with a large windmill. Frollo's guards have found gypsies there. Frollo is interrogating the miller. Music lower.
Found this gypsy talisman on her property. Have you been harboring gypsies?
Our home is always open to the weary traveler. Have mercy, my lord.
I'm placing you and your family under house arrest until I get to the bottom of this. If what you say is true, you're innocent, and you have nothing to fear.
But we are innocent, I assure you. We know nothing of these gypsies.
Frollo pushes her door shut, then bars it shut with the guard's staff. He turns to Phoebus.
Burn it.
What?
Until it smolders. These people are traitors and must be made examples of.
Frollo hands him a torch.
With all due respect, sir, I was not trained to murder the innocent.
But you were trained to follow orders.
Phoebus takes the torch and douses it in a bucket of water.
It's a coward!
Frollo grabs another torch and touches the flame to the windmill. The entire structure is quickly engulfed in flame. Phoebus crashes through the window and brings the family outside to safety. As the building continues to burn, guards grab Phoebus.
The sentence for insubordination is death. Such a pity you threw away a promising career.
Consider it my highest honor, sir.
Frollo raises a spear and is about to kill Phoebus when Phoebus kicks Frollo's horse. The horse bucks and Frollo is thrown off. Phoebus escapes the guards and hops on Frollo's horse and is off.
Hit him! Don't hit my horse!
As Phoebus rides off, he is showered with arrows. One of them goes through his shoulder and he falls off the horse, off the bridge that he is riding over and into the river. A volley of arrows follow him in. Esmeralda, who has witnessed the entire spectacle in disguise, gasps.
Don't waste your arrows. Let the traitor rot in his watery grave. Find the girl. If you have to burn us into the ground, so be it.
Esmeralda runs down the hill to the river, keeping under cover. She wades into the water, then dives under. She comes back up with the unconscious Phoebus. She pulls him out of the water as we dissolve to a long shot of Paris burning. Frollo is approached by a guard.
Sir, we've looked everywhere. There's still no sign of the gypsy girl.
I had the entire cathedral surrounded, guarded every door. There was no way she could have escaped. Unless...
He looks up to the cathedral's bell tower and Quasimodo's home. In the tower, the Goyles are talking.
It doesn't look good.
It's hopeless. Oh, absolutely hopeless.
Cut to Hugo playing cards with a pigeon.
That time, eh? I'm losing to a bird.
Oh, that poor gypsy girl. I'm begging to fear the worst.
You're begging? Well, I feel like you're beginning, I know. But now,
That
don't you say
too.
anything to... Yeah, don't you say anything to upset Quasimodo. He's worried enough already.
Yeah, you're right. We better lighten up.
And just stay calm.
Not a word.
Easy does it.
Stone-faced.
Enter Quasimodo.
Any sign of her?
Victor quickly breaks.
Oh, it's a lost cause. She could be anywhere in the stocks in the dungeon on the rag.
Nice work, Victor.
No, he's right. What are we going to do?
What are you guys talking about? If I know Esmeralda, she's 3 steps ahead of Frollo, and well out of harm's way.
On Esmeralda, Hugo throws a queen from his deck of cards. On 3, he throws a 3. And on Frollo, he throws a joker.
Do you really think so?
Hey, when things cool off, she'll be back. You'll see.
What makes you so sure?
Because she likes you. We always said you were the cute one.
I thought I was the cute one.
No, you're the fat, stupid one with the big mouth.
What are you saying
What are you
exactly?
saying exactly?
Well, all of us are saying. Take it from us, Quasi. You've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're irresistible.
Knight in shining armor certainly aren't her type.
And those guys are a dime a dozen. But you're one of a kind. Paris, the city of lovers. Paris, the city of lovers, is glowing this evening. Ooh, that's because it's on fire, but still there's love. Somewhere out there in the night, her heart is also alight, And I know the guys who just might be burning for a guy like you. He's never known, kid. A guy like you. A girl does not meet every day. You gotta look. That's all your own, kid. There be two
Like you? No way.
These other guys, every good dangle, all look the same from every boring point of view. You're a surprise from every angle. More you love, she's gotta love a guy like you.
Guy like you gets extra credit, because it's true you've got a certain something more.
You're racist, kid.
You don't forget it. For sure.
You for short.
We all have gates. And some Adonis.
And then we raise
the meal more nourishing
and just your straight, like a croissant is, no question of who's gotta love a guy like you.
Call me a hopeless romantic, but hardly. I feel it.
A guy so special, a guy like you, with all you bring up in your house. It's why she tells you never ring the bell. You're the when she wants to la la, hey, she wants to la la, you will be la la. No one will be the guy.
Quasimodo?
They turn and see Esmeralda enter.
Esmeralda? Esmeralda, you're all right. I knew you'd come back.
You've done so much for me already, my friend. I must ask your help one more time.
Yes, anything.
He brings in the unconscious body of Phoebus.
This is Phoebus. He's wounded and a fugitive like me. He can't go on much longer, and I knew he'd be safe here. Please, can you hide him?
This way.
They lay Phoebus down on Quasi's bed. He moans gently and comes to.
Esmeralda?
Shh. You'll hide here until you're strong enough to move.
She pulls out a flask of alcohol.
Great. I could use a drink.
She pours it onto his wound and he cries out in pain.
Yes! Feels like a 1470 Burgundy. Not a good year.
Family owes you their lives. You're either the single bravest soldier I've ever seen or the craziest.
Ex-soldier, remember? Why is it whenever we meet, I end up bleeding?
You're lucky. That arrow almost pierced your heart.
I'm not sure it didn't.
They move closer and closer and then kiss. Quasimodo in the background turns away sad.
I knew I'd never know that warm and loving glow, though I might wish with all my might. No face as hideous as my face was ever meant for heaven's light.
Jolly, looking out the window, begins to bleat excitedly. Quasi rushes to the window.
Frollo's coming. You must leave, quick. Follow me. Go down the south tower steps.
Careful, my friend. Promise you won't let anything happen to him.
I promise.
Thank you.
She and Jolly leave. The Goyles come back to life.
Laverne, what's up?
Quick, we gotta snatch a stiff.
Oh,
They hurriedly drag Phoebus's body off the bed and underneath the table with Quasi's models on it. He hurriedly tries to set his models straight as Frollo enters. He feigns surprise.
oh, Master, I didn't think you'd be coming.
I'm never too busy to share a meal with you, dear boy. I brought you a little treat.
He clears his throat slightly, and Quasi realizes he hasn't set the table. He brushes off to grab the dishes and is obviously flustered, dropping and breaking things.
Is there something troubling you, Quasimodo?
No.
Oh, but there is. I know there is.
Frollo has pulled out a bunch of grapes. One falls to the floor near Phoebus. Quasi cautiously picks it up.
I think you're hiding something.
Oh, no, Master. There's nothing.
You're not eating, boy.
Quickly gobbles a handful of grapes.
It was very good. Thank you.
Phoebus moans. Quasi moans similarly, indicating he enjoys the food. Phoebus sighs louder. Quasi kicks him, knocking him out, then pretends to cough to cover up the noise.
Seeds.
What's different in here?
Nothing, sir?
Isn't this one new? It's awfully good. Looks very much like the gypsy. I know. You helped her escape.
But
And now all of Paris is burning because of you.
She was kind to me, Master.
Frollo smashes the table in its settings.
You idiot. That wasn't kindness, it was cunning. She's a gypsy. Gypsies are not capable of real love. Think, boy. Think of your mother.
Frollo takes a moment to recompose himself.
What chance could a poor misshapen child like you have against her heathen treachery? Well, never you mind, Quasimodo. She'll be out of our lives soon enough. I will free you from her evil spell. She will torment you no longer.
What do you mean?
I know what her hideout is, and tomorrow at dawn, I attack with 1,000 men.
He exits, and Phoebus emerges.
We have to find the Court of Miracles before daybreak. Frollo gets there first. Are you coming with me?
I can't.
I thought you were Esmeralda's friend.
Frollo's my master. I can't disobey him again.
She stood up for you. You've got a funny way of showing gratitude.
He pauses while Quasi turns away.
Well, I'm not going to sit by and watch Frollo massacre innocent people. You do what you think is right.
He turns and he leaves.
Look, what am I supposed to do? Go out there and rescue the girl from the jaws of death? And the whole town will cheer like I'm some sort of hero? She already has her knight in shining armor, and it's not me. Frollo was right. Frollo was right about everything. I'm tired of trying to be something I'm not.
Laverne hands him a coat.
I must be out of my mind.
At ground level, Phoebus is exiting the cathedral. No sooner has he stepped outside than Quasi hops in front of him.
Phoebus! I'm coming with you.
I'm glad you changed your mind.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for her.
You know where she is?
No, but she said this would help us find her.
Quasi pulls out the talisman and hands it to Phoebus.
Good. Great. What is it?
I'm not sure.
Must be some sort of code. Maybe it's Arabic? No, it's not Arabic. Maybe it's ancient Greek.
When you wear this woven band, you hold the city in your hand.
What?
It's the city.
What are you talking about?
It's a map. See, here's the cathedral and the river and this little...
I've never seen a map that looks like this, and...
They both talk at once, ending at the same time.
And
this is it.
This is not it.
They both breathe deeply, and then Phoebus gives in.
All right. You say it's a map? Fine, it's a map. If we're going to find Esmeralda, we have to work together. Truce?
Slaps Quasi on the back.
Well, okay.
Quasi slaps Phoebus back. Phoebus winces from the pain, and they start off.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
Dissolve to a single light entering a graveyard. They approach a central grave with a symbol on it.
This looks like the symbol on the map.
But what does it mean?
I'm not sure. I can make out an inscription, but it's going to take a few minutes to translate it.
Quasi pushes the lid off the grave, revealing a staircase going down.
Yes, well, or we could just go down those stairs.
They end in a partially flooded chamber lined with skeletons.
Is this the Court of Miracles?
Offhand, I'd say it's the court of ankle-deep sewage. Must be the old catacombs.
As they proceed, they fail to notice three of the skeletons rise behind them.
Fearful place. Kind of makes you wish you got out more often, eh, Quasi?
Not me. I just want to warn Esmeralda and get back to the bell tower. I don't want to get in any more trouble.
Speaking of trouble, we should have run into some by now.
What do you mean?
You know, a guard, a booby trap.
As their torch blows out, leaving them in the darkness.
Or an ambush.
Suddenly, the chamber is fully lit and they're surrounded by skeletons. They force them to their knees in front of now unmasked Clopin.
Well, 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 what have we here?
Trespassers.
Spies.
We are not spies.
Can't you listen?
They're both gagged.
Don't interrupt me. You're very clever to have found our hideaway. Unfortunately, you will not live to tell the tale.
They are led to a complete underground town teeming with gypsies.
Maybe you've heard of a terrible place
where the scoundrels of Paris collecting a lair. Maybe you've heard of that mythical place called the Court of Miracles.
Oh, you're there.
Where the lame can walk,
and the
blind can see.
But the dead don't talk, so you won't be around to reveal what you found.
We have a method for spies and intruders right under like corners protecting their hive.
Here in the Court of Miracles,
where is a miracle
if you get out alive?
Quasi and Phoebus have been taken up to a platform where nooses are placed around their necks.
Gather round, everybody. There's good noose tonight.
The gypsies laugh.
It's a double header. A couple of Frollo's spies.
The crowd boos.
Ooh.
Yeah, and not just any spies. His captain of the guard and his loyal bell ringer henchmen. Justice is swift in the Court of Miracles. I am the lawyers and judge all in one. We like to get the trial over with quickly because it's the sentence that's really the fun.
Clopin is about to pull the handle to drop the floor out from underneath Quasi and Phoebus.
Any last words? That's what they all say. Now that we've seen all the evidence, wait, I object. Overruled. I object. Quiet. Dang. We finally totally innocent. Which is the worst crime of all?
So you're going to
hang.
Clopin starts to pull the handle, but stops at Esmeralda's shout.
Stop! These men aren't spies, they're our friends.
Esmeralda removes the nooses and gags.
Why didn't they say so?
We did say so.
This is a soldier that saved the Miller's family, and Quasimodo helped me escape the cathedral.
We came to warn you. Frollo's coming. He says he knows where you're hiding, and he's attacking at dawn with 1,000 men.
Then let's waste no time. We must leave immediately.
Gypsies begin running everywhere, beginning to pack up. Esmeralda moves close to Phoebus.
You took a terrible risk coming here. It may not exactly show, but we're grateful.
As she moves closer, Phoebus sees Quasi's depressed look.
Don't thank me. Thank Quasimodo. Without his help, I would never have found my way here.
Quasi's face brightens up, but only for a moment.
Nor would I.
Frollo and his men appear in the doorway. Soldiers surround the people and take the gypsies into custody.
After 20 years of searching, the Court of Miracles is mine at last. Dear Quasimodo, I always knew you would someday be the one that leads it to me.
What are you talking about?
Why, he did me right to you, my dear.
You're a liar.
And look what else I've caught in my net. Captain Phoebus, back from the dead. Another miracle, no doubt. I shall remedy that. There will be a little bonfire in the square tomorrow, and you're all invited to attend. Lock them up.
No, please, master.
Take him back to the bell tower. Make sure he stays there.
Dissolved to morning, where a huge crowd has gathered to watch the burning of Esmeralda, who's on a pyre. Frollo stands next to her. Gypsies watch from cages. As the Archdeacon comes out to see what is happening, guards block him off.
Prisoner Esmeralda has been found guilty of the crime of witchcraft. The sentence is death.
Cheers go up from the crowd.
The time has come, Gypsy. You stand upon the brink of the abyss. Yet even now, it is not too late. I can save you from the flames of this world and the next. Choose me or the fire.
He spits in its face.
The Gypsy Esmeralda has refused to recant. This evil witch has put the soul of every citizen of Paris in mortal danger.
His voice trails off as we fly up to the chained Quasimodo.
Come on, Quasi, snap out of it.
Your friends are down there.
It's all my fault.
You gotta break these chains.
I can't. I tried. What difference would it make?
But you can't let Frollo win.
He already has.
So you're giving up? That's it?
These chains aren't what's holding you back, Quasimodo.
Leave me alone.
Boils finally give up and move away.
Okay. Okay, Quasi. We'll leave you alone.
After all, we're only made of stone.
Victor and Hugo turn to stone.
We just thought maybe you were made of something stronger.
Laverne turns to stone. Quasi sees Esmeralda below, about to be burned at the stake. He begins to pull its chains.
For justice, for Paris, for her own salvation, it is my shameful duty to send this poor girl back where she belongs.
He touches the torch to the pyre, starting the fire.
No!
He begins to pull harder and harder. The bells begin to quietly ring as he shakes the very building, ripping out the pillars of stone. Finally, Quasimodo is freed. He races off and grabs a rope, leaping off of the edge of the cathedral. He lassos a gargoyle and rappels down the side of the building. Finally, he's close enough. He jumps off, flies out over the crowd, and lands on the platform. He quickly breaks Esmeralda's ropes. A trio of guards come at him, but Quasi grabs a torch and swings it at them, scaring them off. He grabs the rope and climbs back to the top of the building.
Quasimodo!
He reaches the top of the building and stands in front of a giant stained glass window. He holds Esmeralda's body high over his head.
Sanctuary! Sanctuary! Sanctuary!
The crowd cheers. Frollo is not pleased.
Captain!
Sir?
Seize the cathedral.
Back to the top, Quasi has brought the still unconscious Esmeralda into the bedroom. He lies her down on the bed.
Don't worry. You'll be safe here.
Quasi leaps down, then grabs a beam of wood and throws it at the advancing soldiers on the ground. They scurry like ants.
Come back, you cowards! Men, pull that beam. Break down the door.
The men oblige Frollo, leaving only guard number 2. Phoebus grabs him around the neck from inside the cage.
Alone at last.
He bonks the guard on the head, and as guard 2 falls to the ground, he grabs the keys to the lock. The guards, meanwhile, have begun battering the door. Phoebus unlocks himself and then leaps to the top of the cage.
Citizens of Paris, Frollo has persecuted our people, ransacked our city. Now he has declared war on Notre Dame herself. Will we allow it?
No!
As the crowd begins to break loose the gypsies, the guard continue their assault. Soon, the crowd swarms around the door.
I think the cavalry's here.
Hey, isn't that
Feeble.
Doofus.
Phoebus.
The crowd continues to fight. Quasi continues to drop things on the advancing troops. Victor drops a brick, landing square on a guard's head.
Sorry.
Victor throws a rock in his mouth, then chomps it up, flies around like a bomber, ending up on a ledge. He begins spitting out the pebbles like a machine gun. Meanwhile, Frollo is supervising the guards on the ground.
Harder.
As the fighting continues, a guard breaks the lock of the stockade. The old prisoner is once again free.
I'm free. I'm free. I'm free.
He steps into a hole labeled Monsieur.
Oh, dang it.
A grappling hook reaches Quasimodo. He grabs it and then pulls the rope tight. 3 men smash into the building. Meanwhile, Victor and Hugo are building a catapult. They finally are finished and ready to fire.
Ready, aim, fire.
They push the catapult off the ledge, sending it crashing to the ground. Soldiers scatter as it hits.
Are you sure that's how it works?
The catapult, upside down, springs, sending the cart bottom on top of some soldiers.
Works for me.
More fighting. Once again, Guard 1 is defeated by Phoebus, and he ends up on behind Achilles.
Achilles, sit.
And the horse obeys. Cut to Laverne, sending the birds to attack, a la the Wizard of Oz.
Fly, my pretties, fly, fly.
The guards continue to work on the door.
Put your back into it.
Meanwhile, Victor is using Hugo as a bellows to warm up the fire in the lead pot. Quasi attaches a rope to it, then dumps it over, sending fire pouring out on the tower and onto the scattering guards below. The guards battering the door run, but Frollo manages to get inside the cathedral safely. As he does, the Archdeacon runs up to him.
Frollo, have you gone mad? I will not tolerate this assault on the house of God!
He shoves the Archdeacon to the ground.
Silence, you old fool! Hunchback and I have unfinished business to attend to. And this time, you will not interfere.
He closes the door and locks it from the inside. Upstairs, Quasi bursts into the bedroom jubilantly.
We've done it, Esmeralda. We've beaten them back. Come and see.
She doesn't move.
Esmeralda, wake up. You're safe now.
He pauses, but still nothing.
Esmeralda? Oh no.
He gets a spoonful of water and tries to make her drink it. She doesn't.
Oh no.
He begins to cry. Frollo enters and touches Quasi on his hump.
You killed her.
It was my duty. Horrible it was. I hope you can forgive me. Oh, there, Quasimodo. I know it hurts, but now the time's come to an end. You're suffering.
We see that Frollo has a dagger. As Frollo raises it to stab him, Quasi sees the shadow of the dagger. He turns and struggles with Frollo only briefly before wresting the dagger from Frollo's hands and backing him into a corner.
Now, listen to me, Quasimodo, no.
You listen. All my life you have told me the world is a dark, cruel place. But now I see that the only thing dark and cruel about it is people like you.
He throws away the dagger.
Quasimodo?
He turns and sees Esmeralda sitting on the bed.
Esmeralda.
Lips.
Frollo grabs a sword.
No.
He grabs Esmeralda and runs out onto the balcony. Frollo follows, but when he gets outside, he sees nothing but gargoyles, including a Pumbaa. After looking left and right, he looks out over a ledge and finds Quasi hanging out there with Esmeralda.
Leaving so soon?
He swings his sword, but Quasi dodges the blow by swinging to another spot. Down on the ground, the guards stop to watch.
Up there!
Frollo goes to swing again.
Hang on.
Quasi swings off again, just narrowly missing Frollo's sword. Finally, Frollo gets Quasi cornered.
I should have known you'd risk your life to save that gypsy witch. Just as your own mother died trying to save you.
What?
Now I'm going to do what I should have done 20 years ago.
He swings his cape, covering Quasi's head. But as he tries to throw Quasi off the balcony, the panicked Quasimodo pulls Frollo off as well. Now Frollo is hanging on to Quasi, who is hanging on to Esmeralda. Frollo throws his cape around another gargoyle and pulls himself over. He stands up and is about to swing at Esmeralda.
And he shall smite the wicked and plunge them into the fiery pit.
The gargoyle, however, begins to crack. Frollo is thrown off balance and hangs onto the gargoyle's head. Suddenly, the gargoyle's head comes to life and roars. Frollo screams, and the now stone gargoyle breaks off, sending Frollo falling to his death. Meanwhile, Esmeralda is losing her grip on Quasimodo.
Quasimodo! Quasi!
He slips loose and begins to fall.
No!
He falls right along the building, close enough for Phoebus to catch him several floors below and pull him back into the building. When Quasi sees who has caught him, he and Phoebus hug. Esmeralda comes running in. After Esmeralda hugs him, he takes Esmeralda's hand and Phoebus's hand and puts them together. They kiss, and Quasi smiles broadly. Cut to ground level, where Phoebus and Esmeralda emerge into the light. As the crowd cheers, Esmeralda turns back to the open doorway. She comes back and leads out Quasimodo. The crowd goes silent. Soon a little girl cautiously comes forward from the crowd. She looks at him and then pets his face. Then they hug, and Quasi picks her up and puts her on his shoulder. The crowd begins to cheer. As he moves into the crowd, they do not move away as before. The goyles are above, breaking out the champagne.
3 cheers for Quasimodo!
The crowd breaks into loud cheering.
So here is a riddle to guess if you can. Sing the bells of Notre Dame. What makes a monster and what makes a man? Sing the bells, 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 bells. Whatever that pitch, you can hear them bewitch you. The rich and the ritual knells of the bells of Notre Dame.
A long pullout as we see the crowd following Quasi, then the goyles looking over him. Birds have once again covered Laverne.
Don't you ever migrate.
We continue to pull out until the entire city is in view. Fade to black. The end.
Woo! All right. Wonderful job, you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody was such a great character tonight. I loved it. And thank everybody for watching on YouTube. And have a good night.
Bye.